top of the hour. Hour number 2 will get up here. We're jam-packed this morning. McNutt and Windy, Wilbon, Shump is here. We got everything covered from every possible direction, and there's only one place it can begin, and that's in OKC, where things were not A-OK after Game 1 because Victor Wembanyama comes from another planet. So it was the defending champs who desperately needed a win in Game 2. How about this moment here, Shump? Pick this up, second injury. This is becoming a major Wembanyama, not quite as loud as he was in Game 1, but still 10 points for Chet. SGA doing his thing. Thunder by 8 go to the fourth quarter. When Harrison Barnes knocks down this shot, don't look now. We got a 2-point game.
The Spurs kept coming, Greeny. That's one thing about this one.
A minute left. OKC by 5. If you need a dagger, where do you go?
MVP.
Hey.
30
Everybody calm down.
He says, calm the you-know-what down. 30 points for the MVP. We're all even for 2 games in the Western Conference Finals. Here was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander when it was done. Okay, so there's a lot of different things to unpack here. We can talk about SGA. They needed him to go off, and he did. 30 points is the MVP. He's a brilliant player. That shouldn't take anyone by surprise. Wendy, the story of this series, and maybe the story of the playoffs now, is the injury situation.
Okay, De'Aaron Fox has missed the first 2 games of this series. He is their franchise point guard. He is on a max contract. He is the guy who they give him the ball late in the game and they calm him down. He was the clutch player of the year a couple of years ago when he was in Sacramento. He is dealing with a high ankle sprain. These are unpredictable. You say, well, just play through it or tape it up. It doesn't work that way. A high ankle sprain, very difficult. Trust me, if he could play, these are Western Conference Finals games, he'd be playing. We already instantly saw the impact of that. Steph Castle has to handle the ball a lot more, has 11 turnovers in Game 1. Game 2, Dylan Harper, who was brilliant in that Game 1 victory, comes out, they play. You take away their 2 primary ball handlers, you're just asking for trouble. You're putting too much pressure on Victor Wembanyama.
Wilbon, I feel like we had this conversation when you were here a couple of weeks ago. This postseason has seen so many significant injuries. As Wendy said to us in our meeting this morning, like when these finals series began, everyone was pretty healthy, we thought. And then all of a sudden Fox, and now this. It looks pretty bad right now for San Antonio if those guys can't go.
It does, and it's doubly bad because Oklahoma City, which of course had its own injury problem, Jalen Williams limping back.
Yeah.
You know, Caruso, McCain, Mitchell, and Wallace. Not a law firm. Guys who can come off the bench who started and played so many minutes this year that you don't feel like you're – I feel guilty calling them reserves. And so to me, Oklahoma City then is in a really advantageous position with that group of guys being able to ride to the rescue.
Yeah.
Caruso in particular of that group has championship experience. Well, this whole group does, right? But even a part of being from the Thunder, he's done it. He's just been such a Swiss Army knife on both sides of the floor. Yeah. Now, if A.J. Mitchell and Jalen Williams are without, yes, the Spurs can go deep, but they probably are starting to get a little bit deeper than maybe they would like.
So that's a huge storyline coming out of last night. Shump, let's go to the game itself, because Victor Wembanyama has been just off the charts. We sort of jokingly said in the highlight, he had an okay night. He had 21 points and 17 rebounds. But they found something, didn't they? OKC went big against him, Isaiah Hartenstein, and it really made a difference last night.
Whenever you engage Wembanyama and say, hey, if you're going to play far away from the rim, we're at least going to get into your legs. You're not going to be as athletic today. And that's what he couldn't do. He couldn't roam around and be that athletic pest. When I want to raise up, I should be able to raise up. Isaiah Hartenstein made sure that you are going to be able, he made it his business. You are going to be able to play free tonight. And I saw it out there. It was actually key to see, especially if you're Chet, to say, hey, man, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to mix it up. We're not going to accept anything. You're not going to concede victory for anybody. It's going to have to be, you're going to go through somebody's chest. You're going to have to get all these rebounds. You're going to have to get offensive rebounds over our back. Yes, I'm flopping. Yes, I'm hacking you. Yes, I'm scratching you. Yes, I'm doing all of those things. If they didn't call it, it don't count for nothing.
The funny thing was hearing people complain last night watching this series about Hartenstein. He's fouling every play. You think he doesn't know that? That's the point of this. You made a great point earlier, Monica, about the game that will be officiated differently in San Antonio. It is their coach's job to make that an off-day priority. Yeah. When do they do? What time is shoot around? Yeah. When do we get sound from San Antonio that Mitch is saying, hey, this has got to be called differently? I guess the clips have been sent to the league office.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right,
They're talking those are concerning. But as far as this, like all this just bothering them and irritating them, this is playoff basketball.
That's a illegal
y'all, I
screen.
love that.
Get called
Oh,
right.
no, they just hugging it out. That's two big men hugging it out. They friends.
That hook into the arm is
Yeah, that's
potentially.
So Isaiah Hartenstein is two Victor Wembanyama's put together.
Without
so
doubt.
just the physicality of that, even if he's mindful of the hook, the body blows over and over. I mean, last night Victor hit 3 threes, but he looked far more tired than we saw him looking game
And
one.
we have to think
Difference
about it. Oh, my bad.
In the internal scoring, Victor had 13 baskets in the paint in game 1.
Yeah.
He had 5 last night, and I think 2 or 3 of them were his own putbacks.
But this is why you come out in game 1 and do what you do. They stole game 1.
Yeah.
They are allowed to
Yeah,
lose
they're
game
cool.
2 to
Yeah.
the defending champions. They are allowed to do that because as far as they're concerned, we did our job. We came and stole one on y'all home court. We got to figure out this injury situation. But they're looking to defend their home court when they get San Antonio.
How much has Wembanyama meant in this series? The answer is everything. Let me put up A12. When Wembanyama is off the floor in this series, there have been 21 minutes, and the Thunder are a plus 19
ridiculous.
in those minutes. In the 85 minutes that Wembanyama has been on the floor, the Spurs are a plus 17, and the Thunder shoot 40% from the floor and settle for jump shots and threes.
Look at the average shot distance. That's all.
Ridiculous.
Critically important. It's 4.5 feet
yeah.
of difference. Explain why that, for those who might
the
look at that and
brakes
not
on.
The
understand it.
percentage, goes down with every, 6 inches you move away from the basket.
Right.
Unless you're Steph Curry. So, looking at that number, 16 to 12 is just remarkable.
I mean, not just for the team, but for the guy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's whole second MVP campaign has been his effectiveness in terms of his field goal percentages. He was 50% from the field last night because he got to his butter in that mid-range.
I feel like Michael is so right. I think from the first second of Game 3, they have got to be on the officials. They have got to get Victor Wembanyama more freedom of movement in there. It was absolutely 0.1 on the game plan for the Thunder last night, and it worked. Victor Wembanyama had, by his standards, an average game because Hartenstein was playing a different game.
Is it overstating the matter to say Victor Wembanyama has to put this team on his admittedly somewhat slender shoulders at his very young age, which he did in Game 1 on a level that we have seldom seen in history, especially if they're going to have the injury concerns that we now fear? Look, I don't care who you're rooting for. The last thing in the world you want is a series this good to turn into one where the injuries wind up deciding.
Honestly, I didn't think about something.
Yeah.
You remember that elbow Victor threw?
Of course.
I think that's why he threw it. Just for this. When they go to the San Antonio, I really do think he might sit on the free throw line for a little bit. He might just shoot a bunch of free throws.
Explain that. Take me through that
Hey,
thing.
don't nobody want to see Victor throw another one of those?
You think, Sean? Now, I see. Now, here's my thing.
Because that's why Shaq and them would have did it.
No,
They did it to like, okay, y'all don't want to handle it? I'll handle it.
Okay,
you're
but what
talking to the-
happened when he threw
talking
that
to
elbow?
the officials. Yeah.
What happened when he threw that elbow, Sean? He was gone the rest of the game. And we just looked at the graphic. He can't afford that.
Without
sort
a
of-
doubt, I get it. But I'm saying if you're a referee and you already saw what he does, how he responds to that, you like, hey, Victor, yeah, we gonna make sure we got you today. We gonna make sure we cleared it up.
I hate the procession of coaches and players coming through Oklahoma City all year and complaining about the whistle. I hate it, but I get it. Because if you let them play like that, they're just too skilled defensively. They're active hands. They steal the ball so
They
much.
desensitize you.
You can't call
It
everything.
is the same thing that Seattle did on defense, the Legion of Boom.
Yep.
You pass interfering every play, and you get called for it once or twice a game, it's fine. That's the way the Thunder play.
As much as we're talking about the way Victor is officiated, the way Shai gets officiated too will be something to watch. They called the offensive foul when he popped on the extension, when he popped Castle in the face late last night when it was getting to be a good game. So I'm sure there's a couple of things that the officials will be watching through the Spurs lens.
They're all even at 1 in the Western Conference Finals. They shift to San Antonio tonight, Game 2 here in New York at the Garden.
Oh, baby.
Yesterday, we had the Harden Pardon. Did you hear what the Cavs coach had to say about the performance of his future Hall of Fame guard? You're going to hear it. You'll make up your own mind what you think. Plus,